Big news in real estate. Learn in this video exactly how CREA's latest announcement may impact your next purchase or sale of real estate. So in a landmark decision effective January 3rd, CREA, which is the Canadian Real Estate Association, is changing how agents can market exclusive listings, primarily making it so that the second they post it on social media or advertise it to the public, and that means a sign on a lawn, it has to be on MLS within 3 days. Now, there are some exemptions to this policy, which I will get to in a minute, but let's talk about the policy itself, called the duty of cooperation. The goal of this policy is to get rid of a lot of the things that happen behind closed doors, the shady tactics that we know real estate agents use. And hey, I am a real estate agent. I own a brokerage with my incredible wife, but I can tell you we've been on the other side of this, where we have seen sales go firm on the MLS system before anybody even had a chance to look at it. What's worse is we have seen properties that I know buyers would have paid $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 more for had that property been marketed to the public and the public actually had a chance to see the property. Now, I'm happy that they're making it more professional, that they're trying to level the playing field, but I think that this policy comes with a few flaws. One is, in a digital age, quite often when we're listing a property, we have a pre-launch plan where we're marketing that property to the public through social media and digital channels before it goes on MLS. Yes, I understand that MLS is a very important system. It's realtor.ca. It's what feeds all of the other marketing sites that you may be using to search for properties. It is like the main pipeline, but it's just a tool. I can tell you the digital reach that we have on social media platforms can generate at times 5 to 10 times the amount of views and leads as MLS or realtor.ca. And I'm an agent telling you that. So I think what it's doing is it's actually restricting the seller's ability to truly market their property in the best way humanly possible. But I get why they're doing it. Now, I wish a world existed where they would allow pre-marketing of a property as long as a cooperating brokerage fee was offered, or it allowed for some rules and regulations around a standard of practice. But unfortunately, I think they've been dealing with quite a few bad apples in my industry that they need to get rid of. So they are coming in with a hammer and changing this entire policy. Now let's talk about the exemptions. So this policy applies to residential homes. It does not apply to new construction. It does not apply to commercial, and it does not apply to agricultural properties or multi-property developments, and rentals are also exempt from this policy. One of the reasons why they may be doing that is, think about new development. If you had to list every single property you're selling in a subdivision, it would be bonkers to go on the MLS and see all the homes that were available. Now, we are new development specialists, so if you're looking for a new home, give us a shout, connect with us below, and we have a very different approach to finding you the best option. Quite often, the best option in new development isn't even listed on the MLS system. We have a proprietary process that we use for acquiring new homes or building new infill homes. So if you're looking to build a new home, let us know and we can walk you through what that looks like on the back end. And definitely when it comes to commercial real estate, that is a different world altogether. If they implemented this policy in commercial real estate, I think things would just be shaken up and flipped on their head overnight, because the majority of the information that you're going to find in the commercial world isn't on MLS. It's not even on a lot of online platforms. A lot of it is belly to belly grinding. Prime does a ton in the commercial space. We do leasing, we do land acquisition, industrial. So again, if you're looking for things in those spaces, let us know. I can shoot a separate video for you or walk you through what our process looks like for acquisition or disposition of those assets. So what happens if somebody does not adhere to this policy? Well, non-compliance can result in sanctions like suspensions, restrictions, or termination of a license. So it sounds like they are really looking to enforce this in a big way. We spent the last couple of weeks changing up our entire standard operating procedures from when we launch a listing. So now the sign will only go up 3 days before it's going to go online. The social media posts will only come out then. And all of the public-facing marketing is going to happen 3 days before the listing goes live. We've always cooperated. We've always been happy to pay other people to come into the transaction and feel represented. It's just how we've always done our business. So I think this actually helps us because we've always played by the rules. I think this really hurts people that don't operate by the rules. And I truly think that our industry as a whole needs a culling and it needs better standards of practice. So I'm happy they're implementing it. I do think it's going to be rocky. I think it does make it a little difficult for sellers that don't want to publicly advertise their property, but they do have a solution. The solution is you can choose to not list on the MLS system. You just have to have it documented in writing that you've been told that MLS will likely increase the exposure of your property and likely lead to a higher sales price, and that you are choosing to opt out. if there's one big takeaway in 2024 with the trust rules that we covered in another video, the changes to this rules and more rules coming down the pipeline, is they are looking for a lot more transparency. They are fighting to try and help the consumer feel like we are a professional services industry, get rid of the stigma around real estate. So hopefully they accomplish that. If you appreciate the content that was delivered in this video, let me know. If there's something that I talk about that you want covered more in depth, let me know. This channel is for the people, by the people. 90% of the content that we put out was driven by the Prime Nation. Appreciate you being here. Hit subscribe, notification not to miss any future off-market deals, market updates, and insights, and we'll see you on the next one.